tryna go be. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Made it, kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed it, blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Know you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up.
Back up.
I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Made it, kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Yeah. 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 Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge.
Camara Drive-In. Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Baltimore Ravens. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They will be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2016. Always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And his first pass is incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Well, look now at our starting defense. Now they're squarely in the middle of the pack against the run this year, number 16 in the NFL.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And that one results in 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. He was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 12-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you it's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it from... Running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected. And actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. On 3rd down, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. They begin on the ground with Kamara. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. This running game so important that it helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the 1st quarter as that's a 1st down. On the counter, here's Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson got a man. It's Brown. Now Brown, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. One in running the ball, one in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. 3rd and long for Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Jackson. And he slings one that's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Jackson, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they're bringing your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Running with Kamara. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Kamara out of the pistol. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats. It's pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Dietrich Wise. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Jackson throwing on target to Brown. A gain there of 21 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Jackson to throw again. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Alvin Kamara, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. They'll keep it on the ground again here. Cook with a first down and much more. And now look at him go. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Tyler Boyd, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, we head to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And they lead the visiting LA Chargers at halftime. Will Fuller, a touchdown catch in that first half. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie, see what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Andrew Luck, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. 2 yards, good enough for a first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play fake. Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot
hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball. And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Hill on the return. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. On 1st down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Throwing is Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. On the ground, this is Kamara. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 30.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run it again with Kamara. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
The open man is Smith. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 13-yard line. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Always Important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. And a quick throw here. That's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That'll be complete to Cook.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Jackson, he's going deep for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Jackson. He's going to fire one. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw is Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun. Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
To throw, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it. Cook. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. At this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. On 2nd down, Kamara. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the pass.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. A as the Ravens push further out in front. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. So that drive, 4 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Baltimore, they're into the win column for the 3rd time this year as they get the victory here. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop down to 1-3, and they'll try to get back